This podcast is brought to you by Hey Al Productions.
Did I say good? Did I get you to do it one more time?
Maybe just in case.
Okay, do it one more time. Go. Bread and Better Podcast. Okay. Bread and Better Podcast. I feel like I am hanging up. Bread and Better Podcast.
Welcome back to the Bread and Better podcast. We are very excited to be able to officially say that we are a top charting podcast.
Yay!
In both the health and fitness and the mental health categories. We were recently featured in Apple's New and Noteworthy, and we have been sitting in the charts for some time now, which we are very excited about.
2 weeks now, guys.
Yeah.
In both charts.
It's almost 3 weeks.
That's so exciting.
So exciting. We've been texting each other regular updates
twice a day.
We're very happy about it. So Tegan and I pour our heart and soul into this podcast. So it is really lovely to know that you are all enjoying what we are putting out there.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
It is so exciting. It makes me very happy.
So exciting. So we thought it would be timely that we reintroduce ourselves with a little about us section. I'm Tegan. I'll answer to Tegs, Fitty Tegs, or anything really. People tend to love to give me nicknames. So everything I've done in life so far has led me to my current career, from studying a social science degree at uni to working as a chef and a restaurant manager to being a personal trainer on the floor in a busy group fitness gym. I've used these skills plus my qualifications in sports nutrition to create a space online where I help women transform their relationship with their bodies, not only via their physical transformation, but improving their mindset, their movement, and their nutrition. I fully believe that mindset and personal development are the key to all progression in life, and if we start there, everything becomes a lot easier. Someone recently described me, and it is one of our listeners, as a mix of nutritional and training expertise, real talk, and a touch of woo-woo. And I think that just couldn't be more spot on.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
I believe that we'll never be finished working on ourselves. As I shared in one of the last episodes, I'm currently working through some massive limiting beliefs myself around money and relationships. And just like being physically fit and healthy requires maintenance, so does our personal development and our mindset. In my business, my approach with my clients is 100% personalized. Cookie cutter training programs and fast result challenges have never been my jam. I believe that sustainable change is rooted in education and lifestyle changes take time. However, as I remind my clients, if this is the last time that you ever have to lose weight or drastically change your habits and it feels good, then what is the hurry? At the end of the day, I help women just like you love their bodies, movement, and food every single day. I am a personal coach, an accountability buddy, and a hype girl. I'm patient, approachable, and realistic, but I'll tell my clients to pull their head in when it's needed. And of course, I'm a podcaster.
You are. I feel like that's just a good explanation of who you are as a person. I'm patient, approachable, realistic, and you'll tell your friends to pull their heads in if it's needed.
And I will tell you when I want to get you off a phone call and not hesitate.
You definitely always know where you stand, which is why I love you. All right. And I'm Alex. Like Tegan, I feel like everything I have done in my career has led me here. I've been a freelance feature writer for 10 years. My writing has a focus on women's health, feminism, parenting, and pop culture. Some of the places you can find my work are Mamma Mia, Pop Matters, Out and About with Kids, and Collider. I've studied creative writing and gender studies at Deakin University for far too long. I love it, but I also love having babies. And every time I do, I have to defer. Before podcasting, I was working in film as a development producer. I've always loved storytelling and feel so fortunate that I get to do that through the podcast now. I'm a passionate advocate for mental health and gender equality, and these two things definitely have the biggest influence on my work. I started Hey Al Productions last year, and if you've listened to our earlier eps, you'll know that I made a beeline straight for Tegan and implored her to do this podcast because I just think she's great and I love what she does for women. Hey Al also has the Periodical Pod, a show dedicated to educating people on the menstrual cycle and exploring issues like fertility, endo, PCOS, and heaps more. We also have a few other exciting projects in the works in my personal life, which isn't so personal because I share pretty much everything on this show. I am the mum of 3 beautiful kids, Oscar, who is 9, Magnolia, who is 6, and Sol, who is 2. I have been with my husband, Kev, for 15 years now. I am the vice president of the P&C at the school my kids go to, which I find super rewarding. I work on getting grants and planning fundraisers, which is very fun. So yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Me in a nutshell. And on today's episode, we are going to be discussing some really practical ways you can hack your health journey.
Yeah.
But before we do, we're going to do our favourite segment.
Best thing we ate.
Best thing we ate. What was yours?
So I'm just going to plug my own abilities this week.
Yeah, do it.
I've written one thing there, but when I was driving here, I remember that I also had another really good cooking experience. So today I'm visiting all of my friends that have just had new little babies.
Yeah.
So I made them a lamb ragu from my ebook. So,
the one that's been on your Instagram.
Yeah, I
in the slow
did
cooker?
yeah. I did the most gigantic. It was like 15 serves. Sorry, I should have brought you some.
I'm just like, excuse me.
I like lamb ragu. Now you can have red meat, and there's no gluten in this. Oh, there might be. I'm not sure. I didn't check because nobody's a celiac. So made the lamb ragu, which is from my second ebook, and I made it with roast with the bones in because there's all that good stuff that slowly comes out of the bones, which is really good for the new mums. But I also made a lasagna the other week, and I went all out.
Yum.
Like I was trying to impress.
Yeah.
And it was like an $80 lasagna. Like I just, yep.
Yum.
It was very, very good. Like I did like pork and veal mince. I had like lots of different cheeses. I went for the really good quality.
That sounds
pasta
amazing.
sauces. It was really good. And I did like a little caprese salad and some garlic bread on the side, all out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fancy lasagna.
Fancy lasagna.
Oscar and I were actually going through both of your cookbooks this morning.
Were you?
Yes, because we're going to do some cooking and baking on the weekend. So we were picking some things to make.
Actually, when I drop off the ragu to Sarah, she's trading me for some almond croissant blondies.
What?
That I sent her a recipe of. Not like you should make this for me, but you know, she's got 3 kids and a newborn. Just get to baking, would you?
She got all the time in the
Superwoman.
world. Yeah. Well, the best thing I ate, I have 2.
Actually,
I
we've both got 2.
I have 3, but we'll just do 2. So
The girls have been eating well.
been eating so well. Last night I cooked myself, this isn't one of them. Last night I cooked myself a rump, and I haven't done that in so long, and it was delicious.
Rump is a really like underrated
Rump's
cut.
my favourite steak.
It's really good.
I love it. Fatty.
It's not fatty though compared to other cuts because it doesn't have the fat marbled through.
Yeah, that's
It does
true.
have like
It's
that,
just on the
that
edge.
rim of fat.
Yeah.
But if you look at the macros for rump versus like a rib fillet, it's actually a lot better.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good for me. So my first one, sorry vegans and vegetarians, this is terrible. We went out to dinner for my friend's birthday, and it was a place, why do I do this every time I go somewhere? It was a place up in Albion. I can't remember what it was called. I'll put it in the show notes. It was delicious. But everyone who I went with was a vegan or a vegetarian. And they had on the menu quail, which is my favorite food in the world. And I was like, hey guys.
I don't know if I've ever had quail.
What?
I like it when you get really intense. It's giving the secret garden.
It's so delicious.
What is it? Does it taste like chicken?
It's kind of like, it's more gamey. It's delicious.
Like the dark meat of chicken?
Yeah, but I don't really like the dark meat of chicken. It's kind of like more like duck, but it's a different texture and it's got like a really nice skin on it.
Oh, I like duck.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. But I said to them, I'm like, guys, is it okay if I get the quail? Like, you know, and they're like, oh my God, go for it. Like, whatever. Like, you've missed out on for so long. Like, just get what you want. And I was like, okay, cool. Thinking it would come out like normally when you order quail, it comes out just like a little like breast type thing, right? Or it's just like, anyway, it comes out and it's the whole bird flattened on a plate with the head and the eyes and the feet and everything. And I had to sit there with all of them and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like discreetly trying to like cut the head off. so I can like put it under a napkin so it wasn't staring at everyone. But as I'm cutting, it's like through the neck bone. I was like, oh my God. But it was delicious.
There's something, this is a very strange thing for me to say because I once went to a farm, picked a pig and helped like prepare it like it was unalived and then helped prepare it and I found the whole process like so fascinating. It's so fascinating to go from the farm to we did pig on a spit and then a plate. But just something about a whole animal
coming out on your plate and staring at you
is a little bit off-putting.
It was a bit, nothing like that really phases me that much, but
I'm just envisioning like a pigeon that I see dead on the side of the road.
I've got a photo. I'll show you. But it was delicious. It had like macadamia and a red wine jus and it was really yummy.
Macadamias are the best nut, hands down.
There's nothing that compares.
Absolutely slaps.
It does. It does. I won't say that word, but yeah, it's delicious. So that was that. That was yummy. And then I had Burger Spot in Yamba on the weekend when we went down there for Easter. And it is like one of the only gluten-free menu items in all of Yamba. And it was delicious. I had a like big Aussie beef burger with like beetroot and the works and that was really yummy.
Pineapple?
No. It was beetroot, like relish, caramelized onion.
Oh, slaps.
Yeah. Slaps. I also had a good burger at the Wishbone. I shouldn't say that actually. And there was a really nice girl there.
Shout out Yamba.
Yeah. But also not.
And your 3 gluten-free options.
Please, someone in Yamba have a separate fryer for hot chips because I couldn't have hot chips the whole time I was down there and that was sad.
So for today's episode.
I'm going to keep that one. Episode.
For today's episode, I thought I would take us back to basics a little bit, back to our roots as a health and fitness podcast and share a few pointers on how to hack or get the most out of your fitness journey. So we've spoken a little bit about biohacking before. Mm-hmm. This is not what I'm talking about, but I have touched on before about the difference between trying to change absolutely everything about your health and fitness versus trying to hack what you're already doing now and leaning into your personality to get a better result and not feel like you need to rely on sheer willpower and trying to overhaul absolutely everything because that's just overwhelming and then people burn out and it doesn't stick.
Yeah.
So what we're going to look at today is how we can lean into what already works for you, how to hack your own life and how to become more consistent. So today I want to demonstrate how that can look and how micro these changes can really be to have a big effect. So I've said this before and I'll say it again and I'll probably say it again every day for the rest of my life as long as I'm doing my job. So focus on what you can do and not what you can't. So we often think that we need to go from 0 to 100 and we have these really high expectations on what our health and fitness journey needs to look like. But instead of looking at what we can't do, like think about looking at what you can do. So if you can't get to the gym 5 times per week, let's start with walking 2 times per week because it's even like if you're doing nothing, walking 2 times per week is better than doing nothing. And often I have conversations with clients and they're like, I just don't see what 15 minutes of walking is going to benefit. But when you're not moving at all and you do, 3 sessions of that, that's an hour of walking that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
Anything on top of doing nothing is going to be better. If you can't meal prep for the entire week, start with cooking at home 2 times per week, especially if you're eating out a lot.
Yeah.
That's going to be an improvement. It's going to move you in the right direction. If you can't journal for 15 minutes every day, start with writing down 1 gratitude every single morning. So this is the sort of stuff that we're going to talk about, how micro that they can be, but how that compounds into a really big effort. And if you just think, and I think this all the time, like, think about how far along you would be if you had started when you'd first had the thought.
Yeah, that's so true.
To do something.
Yeah.
And especially when you're like, if I could relate it to my surfing, I wanted to start this like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was too scared and I put it off and I put it off. Man, I could be...
You'd probably be on the pro circuit by now.
Probably.
Probably. I'm not even joking when I say that. You probably could.
But yeah, we just think too big picture sometimes and we think, when I get to this point, I'll start this. And we don't focus on what we could be doing right freaking now.
Yeah.
So let's break it down even more. What I want to talk about today is marginal gains and the 1% increase and how impactful that can be. So little things that compound into a big effort, and they might not even seem like they are related to the big picture as much as you think, can really compound to a big result. If you improve something by 1% every day, you actually end up 37 times better by the end of 1 year.
That's a lot.
So 1% each day is like almost unnoticeable.
Yeah. Yeah.
37 times better by the end of the year is life-changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a famous story about marginal gains, and I want to talk about that first.
Yeah.
So you might have heard this before. If you've read Atomic Habits, which we have plugged a few times, you will already know this. So I'm just going to go over this really quickly. So there's the British cycling team. Basically, the team sucked hard for 100 years.
What?
Like they were terrible. So much so that some bike manufacturers didn't want to sell bikes to the team because it was bad for their reputation.
Oh my God.
This is how bad they were. They were
That's
terrible,
so funny.
atrocious. So in 2003, they brought in a guy called David Brailsford, and he had this strategy based on marginal gains.
Yeah.
His theory was if they broke down absolutely everything about riding a bike and improved it by just 1%, the compounding effect would be pretty significant to their performance.
Yeah.
So he looked at things such as making the bike seats more comfortable, making the tires grip better, changing their shorts so that their muscles stayed like warmer, heaps of things that you would expect when you're trying to improve cycling performance. And he was just looking to improve them by like 1%.
Yeah.
Then he also looked at some unexpected areas as well. So he looked at which massage gels led to faster recovery. He got a surgeon in to teach them how to wash their hands properly so that they stop getting sick.
That's clever.
Yeah, it is clever. He even looked at mattresses and pillows for each individual rider so that they were getting optimal sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's like looking at absolutely everything. And looking at 1%. So he looked at hundreds of small areas and looked to improve them by a tiny amount. And in just 5 years, remember, they sucked for 100 years.
Yeah.
In just 5 years, the British team dominated the 2008 Olympics and they took home 60% of the available gold medals.
What?
And then again, in 2012, they set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records.
That's crazy.
Insane.
How did so many people suck for 100 years?
They didn't
That's
have
pretty funny.
this Brailsford fella.
That's crazy.
They obviously, they were
Just like complacent.
potentially complacent and that's just saying like they had this team and this is an elite level team.
Yeah.
The best that they had. And obviously that they had talent, but there was pieces missing.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
It is interesting. Hey,
Surprised I didn't know that.
so the message here is the change doesn't need to be a complete overhaul of everything. It just needs to be tiny changes in multiple different areas done consistently.
Yeah.
So let's look at different areas of our lives. I thought it would be cool to just break down different areas of our lives as women and have a bit of a conversation about where that 1% could come from so that our listeners can actually go away with some tangible stuff that they can work on in their own lives to improve their health and fitness by 1%. So this is what we mean when we say we're going to hack it.
Yeah.
So some of these may apply to you and appeal to you, some may not. So take what you need. So if we look at the different areas that we can break up our life, we're going to talk about those and have a bit of a back and forth about ideas on how we could improve by 1% and how that would compound to 37% increase over the course of a whole year. Mm-hmm. So the first one is habits, and we're talking about habits in all different areas here. But if we looked at our overall habits, what if we got up 15 minutes earlier than we do now?
Yeah. I notice a huge difference when I wake up earlier to get stuff done. Like it's the school holidays now and I've gotten a bit like complacent and slept in. I've also been sleeping really badly. So the last few days I've been snoozing my alarm until like 7 and normally I wake up at 6 and just that hour I feel like the kids and I are like rushing out the door and I'm not getting my socials and stuff done.
Yeah.
I normally try and get all of that done kind of before breakfast. So
yeah. And productivity is having more time in the morning, even if you're not a morning person, like even if your circadian rhythm is more tailored to the evening like yourself.
yeah.
Just not being rushed and having that time for organization in the morning is going to be beneficial to anyone.
Oh, totally.
I was talking to a client about this and about how she's like, how do I become a morning person? Like I want to be a morning person. And I think, I'm sure I've said it before, the way you become the person you want to be is by adopting their habits.
Yeah.
So you just do it. But if you are someone that sleeps in till 8:30, 9 o'clock, just automatically being like, I'm going to be a 5 o'clock club person.
Yeah.
Obviously that's going to be really, really hard. Like that's going to really rattle you.
Yeah.
So say you get up at 8:30. I don't know what job you do that. That's
Maybe they're a nighttime radio host.
Yeah, but that's not really going to apply because they probably need to sleep until that time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say realistically you get up at 7.
Yeah.
This is going to make more sense. You get up at 7 and you want to get up at 5 o'clock. You'd love to exercise in the morning. You would like to make sure that you're ready for your day. You've got journaling, meditation. You've got shit that you want to do in the morning. Start getting up at 6:45.
Yeah.
Do that for 2 weeks. Then get up at 6:30.
Yeah.
Do that for 2 weeks until like these marginal increases are going to feel like nothing. Like if you get up at 7 and you start getting up at 6:45, that's not going to really impact your life.
Yeah.
But if you slowly creep it down over time, you're going to find that it's going to be less resistance. It's going to feel a lot easier. It's not going to feel like a massive shock to the system, and you'll be able to adjust your nighttime routine accordingly.
Yeah.
Well, then next thing you know, boom, morning person.
Boom.
I mean, I am aggressively a morning person.
You are. I never notice how much I'm not a morning person as when I'm staying at someone else's house, because I feel like the kids and I all wake up like on the same level. We like really ease into our morning. They're very quiet in the morning. They wake up an hour before me and just mind their own business until I wake up. They're angels. And I wake up and we all just are like very quiet until I make my coffee, and then we can start talking. And I make my coffee after my breakfast, so it's a quiet morning. But like even staying at my auntie's on the weekend, like everyone's like, talking and happy and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to appear rude, but I can't talk or look at anyone until I've had my coffee.
See, I'm like my eyeballs open and I'm like, hi.
That's me at 11 o'clock at night. Nah.
Meanwhile, 6 p.m. I'm like, guys, I'm winding down.
I know. I don't even attempt to text you. I mean, I can text you all night because I know that you've got your phone on silent.
D&D.
So, but I know that I'm not going to get a response after I'm like, it's 7 p.m. She might be asleep.
No, I'm never asleep before like 9:30.
But you're winding down.
Actually, that's a lie. Probably 8:45 I would say is my standard. 8:45, 9 I turn my book off and
turn my book off.
Well, sometimes I read a book on my phone and sometimes it's a real book. So that seems like the mashup of the two, and try to go to sleep.
Yeah. Reading puts me to sleep. I get through one page and I'm like,
so that's one thing you could do in regards to habits. Just give yourself more time in the day by sneaking your wake up time up a little bit earlier.
yeah.
The other one in regards to habits, and we've talked about this before, is to stack one new habit onto a existing ingrained habit. Mm-hmm. Very easy. Have you been putting your medication with your coffee?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I didn't look.
So I've got two. So I've got one medication next to my coffee, and the other medication that I have to take has to go into like a glass of cold water in the afternoon. So in the morning I put the glass of cold water in the fridge. So every time I open the fridge I see it, so I never forget to take it.
Smart. Little things like that. Did you notice when I put things in the kitchen, I put my car keys with it?
Yes.
So then I can never forget it?
Yeah, clever.
Little
I
things
do
like that.
Yeah. If I have to go to the other day I had to go to an appointment with Magnolia and I had to take her referral. So I put her referral under my keys.
Yeah.
Because I was like, otherwise I'm going to forget this.
Just little things like that.
Yeah.
Make a huge difference. You know how I was saying on the habits episode that I text myself?
Yeah, I do that now.
You know how there's you know how you can pin 6 people to the top of your iMessage?
Yeah.
I pinned myself. I was like,
clever.
is this sad?
No, I have Kev pinned, and actually I should pin you, but I have.
You already pinned in mine.
Oh, that's so nice. I just have Kev, and then I have my SMS scripts because I get all my scripts sent to me by SMS, and every month I'm like, I can't find my scripts.
Oh, smart.
So I pin that too.
Amazing. And then my other one for habits is write a list of the habits you want to track from the following points that we're going to talk about.
Clever.
Shameless plug, homework. So the next one we're going to talk about is your nutrition. And I think this is definitely one people think that they need to overhaul absolutely everything, and they go on their lean diet.
Boiled chicken, plain rice, broccoli.
For a week, and then they think, fuck, this sucks.
This is gross.
And then they don't do it anymore. So
Yeah.
one percenters, guys. adding vegetables and fruit to your meals or adding more fruit and veggies to your meals. This is such a simple one, but you could just think about adding one more fruit per day and one more veggie per day.
Yeah.
And that's going to compound to a massive improvement over the course of the entire week.
Yeah.
We love our fruit and veggies.
We do.
We're actually, the nutritional recommendations is that you eat 300 grams of fruit and 600 grams of vegetables, and that's non-starchy vegetables per day.
What? So not potato? And
Not
sweet
potato.
Damn it. Wow.
It's a shitload.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so if you're having, half of a carrot and you think you've got it sorted, you could definitely increase those.
I eat a lot of Asian greens and they're light.
They are light, but probably not as light as you think. Make sure you leave as much stem on as you can.
Yeah, right.
Get the
Sometimes
weight up.
stems are bitter. I
Yeah.
like it. Kev doesn't.
Yeah. So you could definitely increase that. And obviously, eating a diverse range of micronutrients is one of the best things we can do for our overall health and our gut health. So that would be number one. If you're not eating much fruit and veggies, it's always the first thing I look for in my clients' My Fitness Pal diaries and how we can improve that. So that would be a very easy 1%. And remember, we've talked about this before, having a salad or having veggies with a bit of sauce on top is a lot better than not having the salad or the veggies at all.
Yeah.
So make sure you make it appealing to you. Make sure you make it enjoyable.
I have a tip for people who don't like salad. I think I mentioned it briefly. I make this barbecue chicken salad and I marinate the chicken in Stubbs sauce.
Oh, yep.
And then I I make my normal salad and then have this chicken and there's enough marinade that acts as like a dressing. And it's so delicious. And I've made it for people that don't like salad and I even put a bit of mayo on it.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not like the healthiest salad, but it's still salad.
It's still salad. Like you're still eating the salad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People say, oh, but I don't like it without dressing. Put the fucking dressing on.
Yeah, right? Just eat the dressing.
And the other thing with salad I find that's really helpful is to cut it up really small.
Yeah.
So cut your salad ingredients up really, really small so that when you're eating your salad, you're getting a little bite of absolutely everything that's in there versus like a giant chunk of tomato, then a giant chunk of cucumber. If you dice everything up really small, add a really nice dressing. I bloody love a salad now.
Oh, I love salad. I've always loved making big salads. And I like surprising people with salads that they actually really like.
Yeah.
I should put I'll call it my Stubbs sauce salad. I should put
Stubbs
it on our
sauce
Instagram.
recipe. Do you know, I was actually going to call you out on this.
Yeah.
You often say, and I don't know if it makes the edit, I'll add it to Instagram.
I know, and then I never do.
add it.
As I just said that, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I will
I've been
add it.
meaning
I'll
to call
do
you
it.
on that for a while. We need the recipe.
I think that all the time. I listen to the episode and I was like, oh, fuck, I was going to add that. I will. I'll do it.
Because, and the thing is, I do the social media and Alex does all of the editing. Like she's got her hands full. So when she's saying, I'm saying for a fact I know that she doesn't add it to Instagram because I do the
You do the Instagram. So I've just sent it to you. I'll do it. I'll send it to you.
Send it to me.
I'll make it on the weekend.
The next one is cooking for yourself one more time per week than you do currently. So you could make Alex's Stubbs salad. So just one more time.
Yeah.
You don't need to cook every single night if you're cooking 0 nights.
Yeah. So true.
Start with one.
Yeah.
Start with one. And reducing the days that you buy that snack when you are out and about. And I've had
every time I'm out.
had to pull myself up on that lately.
Yeah.
I have fallen into a little bit of a sneaky servo chocky bar habit.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been tracking calories for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic. And, 5 years of tracking has given me the education to feel my body as it needs to.
Yeah.
But little habits do sneak back in.
Yeah.
So get my Coke Zero, remind myself that I don't probably need the chocky bar because there are plenty of soul foods in my life.
Yeah. My little snacky thing is those small cans of Coke when I'm at Carindale.
Just get a Coke Zero.
I don't hate Coke Zero. I've told you I only like
Grow up,
real
they're the
Coke. They
same.
taste gross. I like real Coke the way it comes.
The way it's supposed
The
to
way
be.
it's supposed to be.
So nutrition, just little swaps like that. Every little decision that you make that you weren't making previously is going to put you in the right direction. Okay, moving on to movement. So steps. Increase your steps by 1%.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be a real nerd on this, you could take your daily step count
Yeah.
today, tomorrow increase it by 1%, the next day increase it by 1%. You'll be doing 37% more steps in a year.
Kev would love that. He's such a nerd about steps.
But if you started with 1,000 today, that's 37,000 by then. That's a lot of walking.
That's a lot of steps.
That's hours and hours of steps. But you get my idea. Or you could increase your steps by 500 steps per day each month.
Yeah.
Just build it up really slowly. And I like that one because it's so tangible. Like if you're a data nerd, if you like the numbers like me and Kev, it's really easy to be like, okay, I'm going to make a little chart of my steps.
Yeah.
Spend 15 minutes a few times a week on conscious movement. So one of my clients said her goal was to get on her mat every day.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just such a beautiful way to put it because she leans into the movement that she feels like on the day. Maybe she's going to do a bit more of like a weights-based workout. Maybe she's going to do some yoga. Maybe she's going to do a stretch, but she's holding that routine by saying, I'm going to get on my mat every day. And I thought that was just fantastic. So if you're starting with 0, that might look like 10 minutes 3 times per week.
Yeah.
And you build up from there. But again, going from nothing to something is always going to be beneficial. And it's that buy-in that Emma has spoken about many times. It's just getting started.
Yeah. You know, like mine with the gym, I started going to the gym with Maria on Wednesdays and then went by myself. And now I'm going like every second day.
Oh, yeah. When I had to pull you up on going with a migraine the other day.
Yes. I still went. Well, I had that migraine for like 2 weeks. If I didn't go, I wouldn't have gotten to go. And after the bike, I was like, I'm going to fucking vomit. But I pushed through.
Don't do that, people. Rest when your body's telling you.
But I have to tell you something funny. I've been saving it for the podcast. I fell over at the gym.
Oh, no.
So you know how you always say, no one's looking at you, which like people aren't looking at you, blah, blah, blah. So if anyone's ever gone to Clem Jones Centre, or like I don't know what other gyms look like because I don't go to them, but like – you know where there's all the treadmills and the bikes and
the cardio
rowing
area.
machine? Yeah. Yep. And how you're all facing the TVs?
Yeah.
At the front of Clem.
That's pretty standard. Yep.
Yeah, okay. At the front of Clem Jones, like that area under the TVs, there's like some mats. There's like some mats and like some weights and a divider. And then in the corner behind the divider, there's like some reformer Pilates kind of machines.
Right.
Anyway, me and Maria went and did our medicine ball sit-up things and we're putting away our mats and the mats go next to the divider and I put my mat down and I tripped into the divider and like pushed it over almost onto this girl who's doing the reform. Maria, thank God, caught it.
I envision this divider to be what they divided classrooms with.
Yeah, literally
at school.
just one of those little dividers.
Interesting.
Just like the felt ones, the
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah,
stands.
yeah.
Yeah,
You could
literally
pin
that.
things on it.
Yes, that's what it was. And so literally it's like almost gone over. Maria's caught it. At first she's like trying not to look at me because it was so awkward that I was falling, but then she like had to catch this thing. And the girl on the other side was like, my whole life just flashed before my eyes. And we were all laughing. And then I was like, turn around, everyone is looking at me. And it was pretty funny. I was pissing myself laughing. But then we go over to the rowing machine, which is the next thing that's in front of everyone. And I go to sit down and I push the seat back and the seat flies like all the way back and I almost sat on like the
metal part.
And it was just like a whole like thing of errors.
A series of unfortunate events.
Then when I like grabbed the thing, it flung off and my shoe didn't fit and Maria was so like, she composed herself so well, but by the end of it, when I accidentally let go of the handle at the end and it slipped back and made this huge noise and everyone was looking at me again, she just lost it. She was laughing so hard. And I was like, I have to leave now.
That's so funny.
It was so funny. But I just laughed at myself. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. I wish there was video footage of this to show.
Can I please see the CCTV footage? Do you know what's coming up for me when you say that? And we're going to talk about it in a few episodes time, this challenge with rejection that I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that in the gym this morning and like thinking about deliberately taking my reps to failure on the bench to have to fail and then just put myself in situations that are embarrassing. And I'm like weirdly fucking pumped for it. I think if I can hack this, this is going to be the key to year of confidence.
Yeah. Well, Maria was then told me a story and she was like, this is the most embarrassing thing that happened to me. And she told me, I was like, oh, that's
small fish.
The amount of embarrassing things that have happened to me, I don't even think I could pick the most embarrassing. It happens. I embarrass myself so often that now I just have to laugh because it just happens all the time.
A really embarrassing thing happened to me recently, but I can't tell it on the podcast.
Oh, damn. Let's do an embarrassment segment in a few weeks.
Okay.
Let's do that. Anyone listening that has embarrassing stories about me, send in a DM.
I'll tell you mine off air.
All right. I've got plenty. Watch the DMs flood in. So next you've got...
Do an outdoor activity every weekend.
Yeah, love that.
Love it.
We spend all weekend outside doing stuff. I hate being inside.
Some people don't though.
Yeah.
Get outside. I realized, did I say this on the last episode that I realized that going to the beach is my way of doing nothing but doing something?
You didn't say that, but that makes sense.
So I thought, and I said all the time, like, I'm a doer. Like, I like doing stuff. And then towards the end of our holiday, I was like, I'm sick of doing stuff. And then I realized that I go to the beach and lay on the beach and read a book. And that is my way of doing nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm dressing it up as doing something.
Yeah. So true.
But that's really important time to me.
Yeah. My hack. The reason I spend so much time outside is because we live in a small house that we've completely outgrown.
With 3 children.
With 3 children.
Yeah.
And so we have to go outside because otherwise I will go insane.
Get everyone outside now.
Leave. Literally, we wake up and sometimes I remember one Saturday in the school holidays last year, I was on the phone to my auntie in the morning and I'm like, yeah, we're just having a chill day at home. We're not going to do anything. And 2 hours later, we're at SeaWorld and she messages me and she's like, I thought you weren't doing anything. I was like, yeah, we just decided to go to SeaWorld to get out of the house.
Yeah, that's fair. That's so fair.
Yeah.
Next one is organization. And there is a bazillion things that you could do here if you thought about your 1%.
Yeah.
So I thought putting your clothes out the night before. This is simple.
I do this now when I'm going for a run in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because also you'll plan a better outfit.
Yeah.
And I even had a client the other day tell me that they pack all of their kids' clothes for daycare for the whole week. They put them out in piles at the start of the week. I just think that's genius.
We have a shelf. We have a school shelf in the back room and it's got their bags, lunch boxes, and at the beginning of the week I put like shorts, socks, undies.
Genius.
Stack them on top of each other.
Shit like this makes your life so much easier. 1% might take you 15 minutes on a Sunday arvo and will make your week run so much smoother, especially when you're thinking about decision fatigue as well. You don't have to make the decision. You are freeing up mental load, which is going to make you more likely to make good decisions with willpower. You're going to make better decisions in your work. You're going to be more patient.
Yeah.
Flow-on effect.
And I have a 6-year-old that only wears one type of sock. So if we don't find the sock that she wants, then it's about 20 minutes of crying. That really fucks up my day.
I can relate to that. Not having the right sock is genuinely shithouse.
I don't really own any socks. I just steal everyone else's.
You're a terrible person. What about when you're wearing an ankle sock and it keeps slipping into your shoe?
Stop it.
Oh.
That's the worst.
It's the pits.
Yeah.
So
Get organised. Don't wear the wrong socks.
yeah, get organized. And spending 5 minutes each night planning for the next day. Like even if you sit down and just write down what needs to happen. So spending 5 minutes writing your to-do list for the next day, closing loops. We've talked about that before. So just like replying to messages that need to be replied to so you don't have to leave it for the next day. Little 5-minute jobs so that you can sleep better, which is going to be like another one. But it's going to allow you to wake up. You've started your morning routine the night before.
Yeah.
5 minutes. All it takes.
Yeah.
And leaving the house 5 minutes earlier than usual. And if you're a late person that's flustered because you're rushing when you get somewhere, just start leaving the house 5 minutes earlier than usual. Think, okay, I need to leave at 7:30. No, I'm going to leave at 5:25.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's going to change your life. Good for your nervous system. Sleep. How do you feel about sleep?
I haven't slept in like 4. I don't think I've slept since Christmas. Let's just say that.
I remember once my friend who had a 3-year-old, she's like, I haven't slept in 3 years.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so sleep we're talking about things that are within your control.
Yes.
Going to bed at the same time, trying to go to bed at the same time. That's such a game changer to just get your normal rhythm going rather than going 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Try to go to bed at the same time.
I don't know how people do that. I use the sleep app on my phone. Not even the app.
Oh, yeah, the wind down app. Yeah.
Yeah, and it tells me when to go to bed.
You know
so
what?
that I get that amount of hours.
Yeah. I don't really do that one.
No. I've just always used it, and I do find it helpful because I'll be like, I'm just going to watch one more episode of Real Housewives, and then my phone goes, you have to go to bed in 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I should really go to bed.
That's really helpful, yeah. Not having your phone for just 15 minutes before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's such a big one, and it can make a real big difference to how well you wind down. Like you're consuming, especially if you're on social media apps, you are literally consuming other people's lives right before you shut down your brain. And not to get, well, fuck it, let's go. A little bit woo-woo, but like the last thing you think about like before you go to sleep is kind of like what your brain, I don't even think this is woo-woo. I think there's actual science to this.
I don't think this is woo-woo.
Yeah, and someone with more qualifications on the brain than me can write in and tell us. There's something about what you think about right before you go to sleep that your brain like ferments on overnight.
My whole life I thought about being murdered just before I went to sleep, and then I had terrible dreams and nightmares of people coming into my room and killing me.
Do you know what? I used to be really afraid of, like, when I was a kid, I was really scared. Like I used to check under my bed and in my cupboards.
Yeah, everyone does.
And I also, even though I wasn't overly religious, I used to pray mainly to not get murdered.
Same.
Is that normal?
I think that's normal.
Is that normal as a child?
Were we
like I was
exposed
like,
to-
please keep me safe.
No, same. I was like that every single night. I used to like sleep. I had this like insane routine where I would go to bed and like lift my blankets under my feet and like I pin them down with my hands and just like pray that, well, a ghost wouldn't get me or that I wouldn't be murdered.
Yeah, okay. Can somebody please confirm or deny
What's wrong
if this
with
is
us?
normal? And then I became a grown adult.
Yeah.
And my mental health was challenged, and then I didn't really care anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I have night terrors, so actually I haven't had them in a while because I'm medicated now. But
I had night terrors as a child.
yeah, you've told me this.
Yeah, like proper ones.
Yeah.
But they're unrelated to this. This was just me being terrified.
Yeah, that was
of
just me
life.
too. Yeah, same. I feel like it's normal. Maybe it's a millennial thing. I feel like everyone I know our age did the same thing.
Yeah, I used to pray at night to not get
Killed.
to be kept safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Strange. And there was no,
I wonder if it's because of what we watched on TV.
potentially.
Because you grew up in the country, hey, like that's
Yeah,
pretty
there was
safe.
there was no risk. Like there was no valid reason for me to have this fear.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't grow up anywhere that wasn't safe. I mean, I was born in Blacktown.
I remember once as well as like a small child being like worried that when I would, this is fucking weird, like when I would like have my shower and I'd take my towel off, that when I was like naked, someone would pinch my bum.
That is
Like a ghost,
funny.
like a random ghost
Just
in my
pinch
room
your
would just
bum.
pinch my bum.
I am terrified of, well, I can't even say it. I'm so scared of someone just like putting their hands on my shoulders.
Oh, like a stranger.
No, just like if I'm watching like a ghost, like if I'm watching, or also like a stranger, Jesus, I would die. But like a ghost or like if I'm in the shower, I'm scared someone's just going to like gently place their hands on my shoulder.
Did you watch The Grudge?
Yeah, I think so. But I feel like I've always had, maybe that's where it came from.
Yeah, because that
it's on
hand
her
comes
shoulder.
out of her hair.
Yeah.
And that fucked me up heavy. I love
Yeah.
scary movies, but The Grudge really stayed with me.
Yeah.
And I used to sleep, after I watched that movie, I used to sleep with my head flat on the pillow in case the hand came out
Grabbed
of my
you.
head.
My biggest one, and I feel like this is very common, is that like when I was standing next to my bed at night, someone would grab my feet.
Yeah.
So I used to like switch off the light and run and dive a good
Yes.
distance into my bed.
Yes.
So I was
Same.
so scared.
Same.
And like even to this day, now that I'm used to it because I've got kids, but like I used to never, even if I was busting to eat, I would not get up and go to the toilet because I was so sure I would die.
Oh, I go to the toilet at least 1 to 2 times every night.
Really?
And I think it's like a sensory thing.
That's so
Because
funny.
if I wake up for any reason, I think I need to go to the toilet. And I'll go to the toilet and I don't really have to go.
I never go to the toilet at night ever, except
How
for
do you
when I
go
was
back
pregnant.
to sleep with the feeling like you kind of need to pee?
I just go back to sleep.
You pee the bed over?
Nah.
Nah.
I can hold on forever.
Okay.
I have brilliant bladder control.
Okay, this is so sleep. This is a tangent, but we would also like to know, are we normal? Not having your phone for 15 minutes before sleep. And I'm trying to bring in this thing. This is where I was going to go on a woo-woo path before I got really unhinged. I'm trying to do a visualization in the last moments before I fall asleep.
Oh, yeah, I do that every night.
Slay.
Yeah. Look at me.
Slay
being a bit
all
more
day.
woo-woo than you.
Yeah. So I like to do this thing where I like to think about like recent memories that have made me really happy.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah. But do you know I actually got that from my brother?
Yeah.
Because when we were camping when we were kids, I used to always take forever to fall asleep. And I remember saying to him once, how do you fall asleep so fast? And he's like, I just think about things that I like.
That's so cute.
And I was like, oh, it's kind of genius.
Right?
Yeah.
I used to, when I couldn't sleep, I would plan my dream house, but like meticulously. I would envision the outside and then I would walk through the front door and I would imagine like the flooring, the walls, like every single detail until I fell asleep.
That's manifestation, bitch.
Well, I mean, it's not working, but yeah.
It's not working yet.
Or when I was a teenager, I used to like really visualize like my relationship with my imaginary boyfriend.
Maybe this is where I've gone wrong.
Maybe.
Anyway. The last one on sleep, and we're just going to wrap up sleep really fast, is trying a nighttime supplement. So that's an easy way to one percenters.
Yeah.
Stress. Taking deep breaths when you are feeling dysregulated.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is simple and no one
You've
does it.
said that before, and since you said that, I don't remember what episode you did it in, and something made me real fucking angry, and I was about to fly off the handle, but I was like,
Sometimes when you're angry though, you want to be angry. Like you don't want to come out of it straight away.
Yeah.
And you have to pull your own head in and
I'll
be
sit
like,
on it for a while, but this was something that I was
stew.
about to snap. Like I think it was something a stranger did, and I was like, ah! But I'm like, chill, Alex, chill.
yeah, just a couple of deep breaths. It just brings your nervous system right back down and allows you to see things more clearly. Like if people did that more often, the world would be so different.
So true.
It would be so different.
Yeah.
1 minute of meditation with a gradual increase. And we've talked about this before. People think they don't have time for meditation, but the clarity that you get from meditation. So if you feel like you suck at it, you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not supposed to be good at it. Like
Yeah.
it is supposed to be hard. So start with 1 minute and then build up from there. And then 5 minutes spent grounding in nature. Put your feet in the grass. If you're chronically stressed, just try it. Put your feet in the grass, get outside.
Or lay on the grass and look at the clouds, which might seem weird, but like, I don't know, I do that a lot with the kids and it's so nice.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like feet in the sand.
Yeah, I was going to say the beach.
Next one was personal development, 1%ers. Talked about this before, life-changing, daily gratitude practice with a friend. Send one thing even that went well for you in the last 24 hours. And I'm not talking about I have a dog. I like the beach. I had a beautiful intro from Alex earlier. There's like one little thing, or I had this conversation, or I had a fantastic coffee.
Yeah.
I was talking to another friend this week. Actually, I've had 2 conversations this week. I fucking love my life and the people in it, and just how focused they are on self-development. I've had 2 different conversations this week about happiness being where we are and not when we get to a thing or a destination. And I think that gratitude for the little things is the key to happiness in the present.
Yeah.
Because when you focus on what you have, you attract more of it. But just looking back on the last 24 hours and thinking, you know, this tiny little moment went well. These little moments that pass us unless we acknowledge them with gratitude.
Yeah. Agreed.
1%er. 5 minutes of journaling before bed. 2 podcast apps per week. And the reason that I said 2 podcast apps is because obviously you already do 1.
Yeah. So you have space for one more.
You have space for one more.
I recommend The Imperfects.
Love The Imperfects. Love, love, love. The next topic that I have, self-love. We've talked about this one before. Complimenting yourself in the mirror each morning. That's a 1%er that's going to change your mindset and your self-love massively. Consciously catching and changing negative thoughts. So as they pop up, again, that was the tip from the self-love episode. And the other one that you can do with your friends is eliminating self-depreciating comments.
Yeah.
And I think that that's huge. I think that that's part of growing up. When we're younger, when we're in our 20s, it's, I wish I could change this, or I look this, or I look fat in this photo, or I don't like this. And now we don't, well, I know that our friends don't really, we don't really do that. Or if somebody does do that, we're like, come on.
Like, nah.
And it's not like from a perspective of, no, you look amazing. It's like, no, come on, we don't talk like that.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Fucking game changer. Overall health, having a glass of water first thing in the morning.
I've just started doing this.
Have you? And how do you feel?
Yeah, good.
Hydrated?
Yeah. I wake up so thirsty. I'm always like, oh God, I need my coffee. And like 2 weeks ago, I was like, maybe I'll have a glass of water.
You should definitely be having a glass of water before your caffeine. Hydrate your brain.
Yeah.
Before you load
stimulate it.
Yeah, definitely. And as we just talked about with the British biking team, making sure you're washing your hands properly to avoid illness.
Yeah. My kids sing the happy birthday song still because they learn that in prep.
Finances, so packing your lunch rather than buying it a few times per week, that's going to be a massive money saver. Putting away $1 for every time you complete a task. I love this as a form of savings. I've talked about it before. I used to do it with my running. But if you were trying to do these 1%ers and you say had 5 1%ers that you wanted to work on and you also wanted to save money, you could set up, for every day that I do the 1%, I'm going to put $5 away. It's $35 over the whole week. If I do the 5 tasks for the 7 days, put that towards something that you're working towards, and it all adds up and it's really motivating. It's a reward system for your habits.
Yeah, totally.
And not buying a drink when you go out for a meal. I used to do this when I was really budget conscious.
Yeah.
If I was eating out, I would just have water.
Yeah, I never really buy a drink. It just makes it so much more expensive.
I do now. But I never used to. I was like, I'll just have the meal and I'll have water.
Yeah.
Which is a really good way to keep costs down if you are budgeting. Last one is environment, and I mean your environment, so setting your environment up for success. Wiping down the bathroom sink while the shower heats up so that your bathroom's always nice and clean, especially like bathroom sinks need constant maintenance because toothpaste, flossing, hair, makeup.
Yeah.
Putting your things away as soon as you get home. So instead of just dumping things in a pile, like pop them where they need to go, and washing up straight after dinner. Like these little tiny 1% tasks make your life so much easier. And I have a motto in my house with myself. Sounds so lame. I'm such a loser.
Tell us your motto.
My house is very clean
Yeah.
and it takes very little maintenance. Like I remember once someone said, oh, I need to clean my house. It's going to take me 3 hours. And I'm like, how?
Mine takes like 6.
I could do a whole bond clean of my house in like an hour and a half. I have this motto in my mind, and anytime I think I'll do that tomorrow, I just think don't be lazy. Because it's usually something that takes literally it takes the same amount of time as not doing it. Like, when you go to like not put something in the bin, I just think don't be lazy.
You're a very motivated person though who does stuff straight away. Like sometimes when I'm like motivated and doing good, I'll like fold the washing on the line as I put it away because, I hang everything on a clothes horse in my kitchen because my kitchen's the biggest room in the house and I am so weird about hanging stuff out in the sun. But then other times I don't. Did you see my bedroom door? Did you see my bedroom when the door was open?
No.
Do you want to have a look at my washing on my bed?
See, I always put mine in the basket and then just put it straight away. And it takes, also acknowledging that
There's one of you.
One
There's
human.
5 of us.
That wears mostly bikinis in the day.
Go and have a look at my bedroom. Like have a look at my bed. That is, so I wash everything by color because I'm a weirdo. So I wash pink and then I wash blue and then I wash black and then I wash white and then I wash brown.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
How often do you wash?
Like I wait for us to wear like
Enough pink things.
Yeah, and then I wash the pink things.
Like I do darks and whites.
Nah. I do white. I do
And
black.
my whites has like 4 things in it because I am one person.
I probably do like 2 loads of washing a day, and they're full loads of separate colours.
Your water bill must be phenomenal.
Pretty high. We go through a lot of clothes, and then there's sport, and then there's towels, and then there's sheets, and there's kids that get gastro, and it's a lot.
I wash a lot of towels.
Yeah.
I'm always washing towels.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many towels I wash. It's ridiculous.
I go to the beach once and I'm like in the wash.
Oh, beach towels. I rarely wash those, but bath towels, I'm just like, it gets used once and I see the kids do something gross with it. I'm like, fucking, that's going in the wash.
Anyway, little motto. It started with, if it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now.
Yeah.
That's what I used to say.
Now I just don't be lazy.
Yeah, now I've just
Being mean to yourself.
I've gotten blunt even with myself.
Yeah.
I don't even sugarcoat it for myself. I'm just like, don't be lazy. Like I'll literally be like, oh, I'll just put the dishes in the dishwasher tomorrow. And I'm like, don't be lazy. You're
Just do it now.
Just do it now.
Yeah.
So all of the things that we've talked about today are easy and they're also free.
Yeah.
So you don't need to tackle them all at once. But if you just looked at every area of your life that you want to improve and started with 1% and got consistent over the year, how different would your life be? I'll tell you. It's around 37%.
Let's just call this episode 37%.
All right, so I am introducing a new segment. So I heard this on another podcast. The podcast is called We Mean Well, and they're very, very funny. I wouldn't go there for health and fitness content, but if you want to loll and you don't mind a bit of swearing, the segment is called Red Light, Green Light, and you bring up things that are semi-controversial, and each person has a red light or a green light.
Fun.
Like one of the ones they did was like wet willies.
Ew. Even the word's disgusting.
And she was like, red light. And he was like, green light. I think it's hilarious. And then they told this story about someone that wet willied the Uber driver.
Oh, did they get punched?
I don't know, but yeah. So this is the idea. Semi-controversial topics. Red light, green light, bit of a chat, see where we stand, see where our listeners stand.
If someone wet willied me, I'd probably murder them.
Do not wet willy Alex. That is a heavy on the red light.
Heavy.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
Eminem, the rapper.
Artist. Red light.
Huge green light.
Really?
I love Eminem and I can like rap most of the words to a lot of the songs.
I can rap all the words to 8 Mile, but wait, Lose Yourself? Is it called Lose Yourself? The 8 Mile soundtrack? That song?
It's a whole soundtrack.
Well, that song, Mum's Spaghetti, that one. I know all the words to that, but I mean, he seems like a fine person.
I'm talking about his music, but
big red light, no.
Huge green light, big fan. It's like a guilty pleasure. I was actually driving back from Mum's on Easter and got into like an Eminem wormhole in the car, and I was like,
Tegan,
this is fun. This is a good time.
Dave Grohl says you shouldn't have guilty pleasures. If you love something, you should just love it. And
Okay,
I
I just love
so
it.
you just love it.
I don't feel guilty about it at all.
Yeah.
That was just a turn of phrase. Okay. Chicken and peanut butter sandwiches.
What? Wait. Satay is yummy. No, that's disgusting.
That's my logic. I used to make these when I was a kid. We would get roast chicken and I would make a chicken and peanut butter sandwiches, and they were satay chicken sandwiches.
Did you cook the chicken in the peanut butter first? Or
No, it's like a roast chicken, like a rotisserie chicken.
just with cold peanut butter?
Well, it gets warm from the chicken. I reckon that's an orange light. She's not sure.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like if you chopped the chicken up and cooked it on a pan with the peanut butter, I feel like maybe no. I'm going to say no.
Okay, I've got one more and then we'll try this segment again so that you can bring things. Not putting the shopping trolley back where it's supposed to go and like leaving it in sneaky corners.
Okay, this is really interesting because this came up on the weekend. In Yamba, I was at Coles and my cousin did the trolleys at Coles for like a really long time and he's just stopped doing them. And so when I was there, I definitely went and put the trolley back exactly where it went because I was like, my cousin's one of the people that has to go and get these. At Carindale, it's the most unsafe, complicated car park. And When you put the kids in the car, you have to walk so far away from the car to put the trolley away.
So what you're saying is green light. You're a green light.
Yeah, which is really bad. I feel really bad about it, but it's just not realistic. Like either I leave the kids in the car and go 1,000 miles away to return the trolley, or I put all the groceries away, grab the kids, drag the kids through the car park, which seems unsafe, to go and put the trolley away.
Yeah, but you like to lock them in the car and do that long walk around anyway.
Long walk around. I put Magnolia in her seat and then walk behind the boot.
So I would say massive red light, and it's a moral compass thing.
Yeah. I feel bad about it. And then when I put it,
It's a guilty pleasure.
when I put it like in between the car parks at Carindale, there's a big space between your car and the car like in front of you. So
Maybe to fix this, you could. Nah, there's not that many parks. I was like, maybe you should park closer.
I do. I park as close as humanly possible, but still. But like I try, so I put it somewhere consciously where I know it's not in anyone's way. So you can still park and it's not in your way.
Just might like dent your car a little bit.
No, it's further enough away. I'm never that person that just like leaves it and you have to get out of your car and move it.
I'm going to do a poll on that one.
Okay, do a poll. I feel really bad. Sorry, guys.
I've really exposed you.
Yeah. I thought of one.
What was it?
But I think we've discussed this before. But it's on my mind because of the new Beyonce track. Post Malone.
Green light.
As attractive. That's what I mean.
Green light.
Yeah, I'm green light too.
Like he looks like he'd smell bad.
Yeah.
But there's something hot about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of a weird.
Green light.
Yeah.
And this is, you get the game. This is fun, right?
Yeah, this is fun. I feel exposed. I feel terrible about the trolley thing.
You should. You're a bad person.
I don't feel bad about Eminem because his music's not good.
It's so good. All right, that's the end of the episode for today.
We're going to do a bit of a plug.
We do have to do a bit of a plug. We have realised that we should be plugging our businesses through our podcast.
So we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So let's start with me. Whether you have an idea for a podcast of your own, if you're looking for a producer for an existing show, or if you want to create some amazing evergreen audio content for your brand, you can contact me over at Hey Al. Or also, I'm a writer. So if you're looking for
some writing,
a feature writer about parenting, pop culture, or feminism, hit me up.
She's a gal.
Yeah.
So if any of our listeners are interested in working with me, the best way to contact me is via my Instagram page at Fitty_Tegs. I have one-on-one coaching packages, custom training programs, and I have just launched a very new and exciting self-love and mindset immersion where I'll be guiding a small group of women on a journey of self-love and personal development, celebrating their efforts with a professional photo shoot at the end. And of course, you can find us here talking about all the things that we're wildly passionate about. We absolutely love creating this podcast for you.
So thank you to all of our
Listeners.
Thank you to all of our listeners, new and old. We are beyond grateful that you are here.
The new ones are the listeners.
The listeners.
If you could take the wheels have come off. If you could take the time to leave us a rating or a review wherever you listen, we would be extremely thankful.
Kev always says that we should call our listeners the bread rolls or the rollies or something like that. But we should call them the listeners.
The listeners,
the
we love you.
Bye.
See ya.